Have you ever felt like you needed to get it together before God would really use you? Like once you pray more, or once you read the Bible more, once you stop struggling with the same old issue, then after you do all that, God shows up. But what if I told you that God doesn't meet you where you wish you were? He meets you exactly where you are. Not cleaned up, not figured out, not pretending. Right where you are right now. Before we jump in, we'd love for you to be a part of our growing community. Please subscribe to my channel and be sure to hit that notification bell so that you'll get notified every time that we post new content. So many believers are stuck because they're waiting to feel ready. Ready to pray, ready to serve, ready to believe God can actually use them. But the truth is this: God has never waited for someone to be ready before He used them. Let's look at 3 powerful reminders that prove God meets us where we really are. The first one, God meets you in your mess, not after it's cleaned up. Most of us think we need to fix ourselves before coming to God, but Scripture says the exact opposite. Romans 5:8 says this, "But God demonstrates His own love, and He demonstrates it for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." Notice that phrase, while we were still sinners. Not after we got better, not after we promised to do better, not after we proved ourselves. God meets us in the middle of the mess. Here's an illustration for you. Think about a parent with a child who falls in the mud. The parent doesn't say, "Clean yourself up before I help you." No, they run toward that child and they help them. God runs toward you the same way. Some of you are delaying prayer because you feel guilty. Some of you are avoiding church because you don't feel spiritual enough. But God isn't standing at the finish line. He's standing right beside you in the mud. My second point, God meets you in your weakness, not in your strength. We love highlight reels. God loves honesty. 2 Corinthians 12:9 reminds us, "But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." God doesn't work best when you're strong. He works best when you're honest about being weak. Think about this illustration. A GPS, it doesn't need to know where you're going. It just needs to know where you're currently located. If you lie to the GPS, it can't help you. If you lie to God about where you are spiritually, you stay stuck. But when you say, "God, I'm tired. God, I'm struggling. God, I don't have the answers," that is when His grace kicks in. My third point, God meets you in the process, not at the finish line. We love instant results. God values transformation. When we look at Philippians 1:6, it says, "Being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to the completion until the day of Christ Jesus." God is not shocked that you're still growing. He's not disappointed that you're still learning. He already knows that, and He already knows the process takes time. Think about a child when they're learning to walk. He falls down constantly, but the parent celebrates every single step. And God celebrates your steps forward, not just your finish. Maybe you prayed today when you didn't feel like it. Maybe you resisted a temptation that you used to fall into. Maybe you showed grace where you used to react. You see, that's growth, and God meets you there. Let this sink in. You don't need to pretend with God. You don't need to perform for God. You don't need to wait until you're better. God meets you where you really are, and He loves you too much to leave you there. So here's your challenge for this week. Every morning, pray one honest prayer. Maybe it's like, "God, this is where I really am today. Meet me here." No filters, no fancy words, just honesty. And I want you to watch what God does when you stop pretending and start trusting. If you understand what I'm talked about today, I want you to drop down in the comments section and share one word that describes where you are in your faith journey today. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back next Monday morning on Monday Mornings with Michael.